Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kitsune Readings, where your questions find answers.
Hello everyone, Ryu here. Today we're on the Sega Genesis app, and we're going to talk about Vector Man from 1995. You can see the play to win with 25,000 on there. It also had like a really shiny cover and stuff. Uh, Vector Man is probably viewed as one of the coolest Sega games around. Now, it had really cool 3D graphics made by Blue Sky Software. It's probably one of the best looking games on the Sega Genesis. It's interesting that it came out as late as 1995, because by that time we already had the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. And Sega wanted to show that their console could still compete with the newer graphic consoles. Which is kind of funny because the Super Nintendo could generate graphics better than the Sega Genesis. But anyway, it's 2049 and Earth cities, forests, and ice caps are filled with toxic sludge. Humanity has escaped to the stars, leaving mechanical Orbots to clean up. So we're cleaning up the Earth because us humans fucked it up. One powerful Orbot, Raster, oversees to clean up through a planet-wide comnet. Tragedy strikes when, in error, attendants connect a salvaged nuclear bomb to Raster's master control circuits. Warhead is born, and he stands for tyranny, hatred, and oppression. By Warhead's decree, Earth is forged into an instrument of death for the returning humans. Vector Man leads his space barge. Vector Man lands his space barge after delivering a load of sludge to the sun. Unhindered by evil mind control, he will not rest until Warhead is defeated and the Earth is once again free. Alright, sounds awesome. He's like a more hardcore version of Wally. The intro looks really cool. The 3D graphics are top notch. This is a really amazing game. Let's see, we got lame, wicked. Whoops. Difficulties lame, wicked, and insane. I guess wicked is the normal difficulty. Now, a year later, Vector Man 2 came out. I like the jump boots. Yeah, multi-score. I usually forget that right there is a broken platform. Oh, whoops. We'll just back that up a bit. Since we're on the Sega app, we have the rewind function. Which is honestly quite nice. You break the monitors, of course, for items. Oops. Oop. Oof, buddy. I'm getting better at avoiding these attacks. Yeah, take that. That's how you play Vector Man, by cheating. We'll create a suspend point here. You collect your photons and you get extra lives. Okay, I know what to do now. This level sucks. Not only do you have to, like, fight this guy, right? But you have to shoot everything in the level, too. That's, like, after you as well. This is so shitty to get past. My god. This is so ass, I probably won't even, like, finish playing past this level. Game over. So there's no continues or anything in this game. We can just rewind all the way back. Which realistically is the only way you'll get past this. I would have to look up what I'm supposed to be doing here. Man, I'm so terrible at this. I'll probably never get past this in my life. Whew, level bonus. Alright, we got past it. I figured it out. You have to jump and shoot. Well, we got lucky there, didn't we? That part of the game really sucked. Oh, wrecked. So we have to go back around this way. Is this game worth playing today? Absolutely. For all my complaining about that one part. This game is quite the experience today, and I think it's worth playing. And if you have Nintendo Online, you can play this game. It's on the Sega Genesis app. Vector Man is probably one of the more iconic Genesis games. Mostly because it was released near the end of the Genesis lifespan. And it was a very late Sega game. The thing about the games that came out around this era was that you got games that could really display what the game console could actually do. And I think Vector Man really does show off the graphical capabilities of the Sega Genesis. They really put a lot of work into this game. The game is very hard and very challenging, as you saw. Or can see with my terrible playing of the game, but the game is actually pretty good. The music is pretty solid, I like it. A great game from the console war era. And unique to see too, because I would think they would stop releasing games for this console, but no, actually they did not. They released a few Sega Genesis games for the Sega Genesis, even though the Saturn and the PlayStation were already out. And that's one of the things that makes this so unique to experience. I'm glad they put this on the Sega Genesis app. This is also on the Sega Genesis collection, by the way. So if you have the Sega Genesis Classics collection, which was delisted on the digital stores like Steam and stuff, you can get that, and this is on there, which I think is also a good idea to get so you can own the game physically. I have a lot of good memories of playing Vector Man. And I'm glad I get to share this memory I have of my childhood with all of you. His shape-changing abilities are also really cool. Now it says this was released to compete with like 3D-ish style games that were on like the Super Nintendo and the 32-bit consoles like the Sony PlayStation and all of that. I don't know how true that is. Personally, I think there were just some games already being developed before the release of those consoles. And they didn't really want to waste the money they spent developing the games, so the games like this one ended up getting released anyway, even though the Sega Genesis was on its way out and likely to be discontinued. Level bonus. So this was more towards the mid-90s, as this was released in 1995. Great game. Is Vector Man worth playing today, as I said before? Absolutely. I love retro gaming, and I think a lot of the games, retro-wise, are worth playing today. You should take a look at Vector Man, and if you do, I hope you have fun playing it. I love you all, thanks for being here and watching the video. You can and you will achieve your dreams, my friends. I believe in you. Have a great day, everyone.